A pot of almost 160 grand.
Chow, you won a pot.
You knew I was calling, but you raised anyway.
This is not the demeanor of a woman who just bet her entire year's salary. And look at that, Ken's praying Joe fires off some money.
Come on.
There it is. Action over to Phil. Queen. Oh boy, queen.
Get the bleeper ready.
9,000.
A re-raise to 9,000.
Donnie's in a spot where he could make a 4-bet, but he doesn't want to chase Helmuth out if he's getting out of line. We know Phil's got queens, though, and he'll call just about anything.
Call.
See, that's already a big game. Look at that. He just put in $9,000.
That's because there's a straddle on it, Phil. We're not asking for a double straddle, just the one.
Both the straddle and the cooler hand are to blame for the size of this pot.
A juicy pot pre-flop, which comes out Jack-8 King. A set for Stern.
All Donnie needed was for Phil to not flop a set.
Phil checks.
Donnie's in position, so if he bets here, it will look like a continuation bet.
11,000. Phil calls.
I was going to suggest that the king might bother Phil, but it doesn't appear so.
Jack of hearts on the turn as Stern fills up.
Phil's now drawing dead to someone pulling the fire alarm.
Helmuth checks.
Phil put Donnie on a jack. Maybe the second one hitting will save him some money. Donnie's trying to figure out how to get max value.
He bets 30,000.
These guys both have their hands in their mouths, which, when unintentional, is a sign of weakness.
Phil calls.
In Donnie's case, it might actually be a reverse tell. Phil just called 30,000, drawing stone dead.
The river. The 10 of diamonds. Phil checks.
Can't really tell how many that is, the yellows.
About 60.
You have about 60 left?
There's 100K in the pot, and Phil's only got 60K behind. It would probably look stronger if Donnie didn't put Phil all in.
I'm all in.
There goes Donnie putting Phil all in.
At this point, all Phil Helmuth has is a bluff catcher. I think he knows it. There's no way Donnie would be value betting any hand worse than a pair of queens in this spot, so Phil's either crushed or Donnie's bluffing in his eyes.
Why is it just funny to watch him in anguish? I don't know.
Just the sickest stuff. I mean, why do I even come here? I mean, it's just ridiculous. This guy probably has ace jack and just hit some miracle jack like it was nothing. Maybe he's just bluffing it all off. I mean,
Phil's trying very hard to convince himself he can call. See you, Daniel. He knows this could be a while.
Here's my thinking, okay? Can't be shit 35,000 when he wanted to call. I think this time he's not bluffing at all. I think it doesn't look like he's bluffing to me. I think he's betting because he thinks Phil is just sick and annoyed and he's gonna call.
52.
But I don't think Danny's ever bluffing here.
You think he's bluffing?
No. Come on in. Huddle up. for luck. Oh, 100%. Everyone here.
Phil and Donnie have had some history this week, maybe clouding Phil's judgment.
Oh, you might be bluffing here.
I don't think there's any chance he's bluffing here.
Like almost like
zero chance.
Close to zero.
He wouldn't have even bothered betting the turn. I think Helmut has ace king. You think he has ace king? He could have ace king. He thinks he has queens.
He might have queens.
Hey, wait, he did raise less. Actually, he has queens because he made it 9,000 before the flop. Yeah. He has queens because he only made it 9. He always reaches pot.
Yeah. I think he's bluffing.
Is that the Brat Pack over there?
Boys, he might be bluffing here, boys. He might be bluffing here.
He wants to be a hero right here for sure.
Wow, I have a feeling he's bluffing. I don't know if I can call it though.
Oh, if he's bluffing and he calls, he'll feel like he'll feel like Superman.
Yeah.
He's supposed to have me beat. I mean,
I don't think Phil has a feeling he's bluffing. I think Phil wants him to be bluffing.
Also the way that Danny asked how many he's got is so natural and so comfortable. It's like this. It's like, just see what you got. He's like, I'm all in. It's like, so come on, give me a break. You have it for sure.
Should I offer Phil insurance?
you bluffing, Donnie? Wow, I just feel like you're bluffing.
He wants to win today. He wants to win some good money. So like, this is his opportunity to be a hero.
$68,000.
Here we go. This is the call before the storm. I want to see it when it happens. When I get back. Go back? Yeah.
Based on pot odds, Phil's not getting nearly the right odds for how often Donnie would be bluffing here. But I don't think this decision is about pot odds for Phil. All right, well, now that everyone's back and Phil's sure the cameras are back on him, we should get a decision soon.
Wow. The last time I made a decision like this, I was wrong. I looked pretty bad. Wow. It's like my hand won't let me fold here. So weird.
Once someone picks up their cards like that, they usually fold.
Just queens, boys. That's all I have. Pocket queens. God, I hate to give this one up. Just hate to give it up. My read has not been perfect lately, though. That's the problem. You just can't wait to flip over that queen 10 or those two deuces or whatever.
Phil folds.
My contacts are drying out.
It's unreal. I tried to play two big pots against this kid. He snapped off top two and queens.
Snapping off queens is pretty easy with kings. I guess you could call him a whippersnapper.
Completely screwed me.
What was that?
You knew I was calling, but you raised anyway.
You're reading too much into it, man.
I don't want to level myself here. I just want to try to flop a set, hit a set, and get it in. Can we do that? Huh?
Yeah, imperative.
Well, if I'm trying to flop a set, what do you think I started with?
So we're heads up to the flop, and we don't know anyone's cards. Trey, deuce, jack.
Randy's got the lead.
8,000.
Lou bets 8,000.
Well, that was pretty obvious. Lou's been firing every flop, whether he has it or not.
An interesting situation, okay? Because I have 3 threes right now. You don't believe that?
I don't know.
How much
I believe
is it?
a lot of people. I believe a lot of people.
So the best way to play this against you, based on previous hands, is to call, raise river, I think. Okay? So that's plan A. I might change my mind, but plan A is call, ship river.
All right.
That's plan A. You like that? I'm just gonna tell him, whatever.
I'm a little worried.
So the mystery continues. 7 on the turn.
It's such hard to tell your opponent what you're doing and doing it, you know?
What are you gonna do now?
Does Lou want to keep the lead?
20,000.
Lou bets 20,000.
Lou's got Daniel's attention. Let's see if he sticks to his plan of call, ship.
He doesn't believe me. I seriously say I'm gonna do that, and he doesn't care. Oh gosh.
Everyone lies. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Word on the street.
So is plan A still the plan? I'd like to defer.
You gotta respect internet guys that chat during hands. That's a very rare thing, and to that, hats off. He's chatted in the middle. If somebody's dialoguing with him, he just opens the door and goes there.
Oh.
Even I don't do that. I try not to,
So it's
but
a
I do
mistake?
it.
Is that a mistake? Thanks for the...
I'm leveling myself too much. I call.
Daniel calls.
If I keep thinking, I'm gonna screw up really bad.
This is awesome. We're still sticking to the plan.
River, ace of clubs.
The only draw on the flop, which was 4-5, just came in. Daniel's taking a pretty passive line on this hand, and in the past, when Nanos had nothing, he slowed down by now. So if he's gearing up for another bet, my guess is he may have the best hand.
Daniel intently watching Lou as he stacks chips. And it looks like it's going to be a really big bet.
I'm now worried that you just made 3 aces. How much does he have? How much did he bet?
Fired 47,800.
I told you I have 3 threes and you just don't care, or you have that beat, right?
Well, if I talk too much, I might let you know what I have.
Bro, the thing is, when you talk, you might get the other result. You might get wins that you shouldn't have got, etc. You know.
That's true.
It's not all.
How light is Daniel thinking of calling this time?
What's he got left? Let's see. I can't see. Just lift your hand. That's good. It really smells like aces.
Does that mean Daniel was already beating a pair of aces?
Pocket aces? Oh, it's a difference. I can't fold anyway.
Calls.
Queens.
Turn to set.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Nice hand.
So I could make it 36 because this calculate, right?
Yeah, that's a blind.
Okay, make it 35.
35.
Gee raises to 3,500. Bob.
Gee, this Gee. 35. Look at this Gee over here.
Vulgaris folds. Catch a love, ace jack.
Man, Eugene looks like he's been put through the ringer this week. He's just like over it.
Makes the call. Over to Carrie. 9-5 of clubs.
You can do anything, remember? You can straddle from way in the middle of the table if you like.
At least someone paid attention in the pre-show meeting.
Carrie makes the call.
Now, this might look like a loose call, and it is, but you kind of have to defend your straddle here mathematically. Carrie's getting better than 3-1, and she's in position.
Flop 8-9 deuce 2 diamonds. Top pair for the cannon. Middle pair for Gee.
Pretty sad when the girl who plays 1-2 no limits got more gamble than me. It's embarrassing in some ways.
Way more.
Way more gamble than me. Not even close. And more than you too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us.
To be fair, Carrie's the only one playing with someone else's money.
Gee fires 10,700. Catch a love out, and it's back on Carrie.
This is a pretty big, almost pot-sized bet. I'd say Carrie is fairly likely to know she has the best hand here, so I'm going to go ahead and say folding's probably not an option.
Well, she's got the gray chips. The 5K chips. And she makes it 30,600 to go.
What on earth is going on here?
Even though this is a baller raise, it really doesn't make a lot of sense.
So how much more? Basically 20,000, 19,900, right?
You're kind of not supposed to raise just because you think you have the best hand. I could totally see Gee just shipping on her right here. He did it to her earlier in the week. Gee looks like he just might not be a believer.
Just calls.
Right?
I'm not sure if Carrie wanted a call or not. My guess is probably not. This pot has gotten very big very fast.
Turn 6 of clubs.
Check.
Gee checks.
This is a stellar card for Carrie. She picks up a draw to both a gut shot straight and a flush, and one card makes her a straight flush. Now, she really should bet this only if she's willing to call a raise all in, and should be considered a semi-bluff, not a value bet. As long as she doesn't lose her nerve, this is likely to be the single biggest bullet we've seen Carrie fire.
Stacks a lot of chips and fires. 53,800 is the bet.
This pot is likely to be 100 times bigger than the biggest pot she's ever played before in her life.
How much left you have roughly?
Ah, she's so cool.
Come get it.
About 80.
Does Gee really think she would bet this kind of money on a hand worse than 2-8s, or does he just not care and want to gamble like a billionaire sicko?
I think I'll make a nothing reflection.
You gotta ask her what nothing would do.
Nothing would still be in the tank from another hand. And this is not the demeanor of a woman who just bet her entire year's salary. She genuinely looks just as comfortable as any pro I've ever seen.
He folds.
You can tell he created Cirque du Soleil because 90% of that whole thing was just theatrics.
Nacho, ace 5.
If you raise, we get it in on the flop.
This would be a little loose from the hijack.
Raises the 1,300. Action on the 2005 world champ, Joe Hashem, pocket 7s.
Joe could put in a raise here, but most players just call with 2 7s, and Joe could be a little concerned that Nacho's not just hijacking off over there.
Hashem makes the call. Couple of jacks for the cannon.
Now Ken's going to want to raise here to make sure he's not taking a flop 6 ways.
Well, Tony G's out Joe, so it's really only 5 ways. But I see your point.
Do you?
Those look like raising chips.
Raise 42.
Re-raises to 4,200.
Let's see who wins Daniel's inner battle. Will it be suited connectors in a 3-bet multi-way pot, or I'm out of position? Just look at that inner struggle. Daniel loves playing with loose cannons.
And not crazy about folding to begin with. Makes the call.
Story checks out.
Tilly with queen tray, and she'll have to ditch that, and does. Back on Nacho.
When the cannon's in the pot, the pros tend to play pretty loose. Pretty loose.
Barbero makes the call.
Hashem's getting like the dumbest odds ever. If you factor in implied odds, he's calling. Aussies move at their own pace, though. Oi!
And Joe calls.
Okay, we all wasted time. We did our little, every one of us, we did the, we know we're calling.
Yeah, whenever you call, everybody knew it was.
We all know we're calling. It's just a little, we're trying to be like Jennifer Tilly there a little bit.
Well,
Actress.
oh, yeah.
4-way action. Jack, jack, tray, quads for the cannon.
Time to get back into deep cover.
Check.
Daniel checks. Nacho passes,
Joe might think he has the best hand.
but checks.
This board's fairly dry, so it's totally cool to let someone catch up a bit.
And Ken will check to the turn.
I like it.
4 of hearts. Daniel checks. Nacho checks.
Still not too scary a board for Joe's hand, and Ken gave up the lead.
12,000.
Joe bets 12K.
Anything Ken does here other than fold will look strong, so I think his best shot at looking weak is to just call.
That's what you did last time.
When?
12,000.
Last night, Hashem bet 12-5 on the river against the loose cannon. Ken made the call with queens, and Joe showed him 2 pair to take it.
It was 12,500 last time.
Talking when you have a big hand, that's classic loose cannon.
Ken calls. Daniel's done with it.
Nacho's got a gut shot draw and not much else. He's getting a terrible price to draw to it, especially considering he could be and is drawing dead.
And mucks.
This isn't a super cooler, so I'm not really sure how much value Ken will be able to get out of Joe.
River. Deuce of spades.
Nacho would have made his gut shot. Don't tilt yet, Nacho. Joe was the last aggressor. We'll have to see if Ken's call on the turn slows him down at all. And look at that, Ken's praying Joe fires off some money.
I'm all in.
He's all in.
Call.
4 jacks, I guess.
4 jacks.
Ken shows the quads.
Wow.
Whoops.
I guess.
Wow.
The cannon doubles up.
Nice hand.
If I see the river, wow.
That's what makes sense, I guess.
Okay, now fold everything. And then take your wife and go shopping.
King 9 suited for Barry. In the small blind.
There's a raise.
Raises to 5,200. Antonio folds. Chow, pocket jacks.
It's been a straddle and a double straddle, which is why the pot's so big already.
52. Let's go get
Chow
If you
calls.
gamble, I gamble. Let's go.
Good luck, Mary.
Barry, this is a lesson in how to go from first to last
Rick calls.
in the instant of a flop.
Nice flat call by Chow with jacks. He's disguising the strength of his hand. He's in position, and he let Moneybags Raheem in.
Ace Jack 7. Chow flops a set. Barry, the first to act, leads out with 9,000.
It's a great flop for Chow. His hand is so strong, he'll want as much action as possible.
Chow, smooth calls, and Rick folds.
Again, I like Chow's call. If he had raised, it would have shown a lot of strength, especially with Rick still to act behind. Chow and Barry are old friends, play all the time at Bellagio together. Here they are tangling again.
Barry hits his king on the turn, but he's drawing dead.
Barry may think his king's good since Chow just called the flop.
Barry fires another 20,000.
Chow's trying to decide whether to call or raise. There aren't a lot of hands that have him beat.
Chow just calls.
By just calling, Chow looks weak, and he might be able to get Barry to fire again on the river.
A 9 on the river, a terrible card for Greenstein.
Barry's hand actually improves, which is horrible news for him and great news for Chow.
Barry's going to fire again. 42,000.
Yeah, I think I gotta quit this game. What is that?
42,000.
I said 42.
Despite the fact that he's dead in the water, Barry's making an attempt at a value bet.
Kiss money goodbye again, if I have it.
Kiss it hello, Chow. You're a winner.
30. 30. 42. Don't fuck me in a second.
Chow calls.
Like I said, if your base is up, it's good.
That's it?
No.
Chow shows the goods.
Listen.
Chow's been running so bad this session that he forgot to consider the fact that he could have maybe even raised there.
I don't know, he's walking like ace king again. I'm happy to win.
A pot of almost 160 grand.
Chow, you won a pot.
I win. That's too quick now.
Ketchaloff, ace-deuce suited. Raises to 3,000.
With the straddle on, this pot's getting big already, even though he's in position. 5-9 doesn't play very well post-flop.
I had so many ideas.
Phil folds. Capella folds. Queen 8 for Stern.
Donnie straddled, so he's bought pre-flop position. And doggone it, he's going to use it.
Let's see if it's a call or a raise. It is a re-raise to 10-2.
This re-raise looks awfully strong considering how Donnie's been playing so far. He's not playing a lot of pots, and he's out of position. Eugene is in position with a hand that can make some disguised hands. He's also probably considering that Donnie might finally be getting out of line. Still, this would be a fairly loose call.
Ketchaloff makes the call.
Or maybe it's just because Eugene loves to play hands.
The flop. Ace, Queen 8.
This is an amazing flop for Donnie. Eugene's made a costly second best hand here with top pair, and he probably won't be able to lay down a pair of aces to a bet here.
Action's on Stern. Fires 14,000.
This is a decent sized bet. The pot's already bloated because of the straddle. It's a 2/3 bet. This is how the internet kids do it. It's aggressive and confusing.
Ketchaloff calls.
And if you keep it consistent, it masks any sizing tells you might have.
The turn. The Queen of Diamonds fills up Stern.
Just for this one hand, we're going to call Donnie Stern Danny Tanner in honor of the full house. 3 queens, DJ, Stephanie, and Michelle.
On my TiVo, by the way.
Typically filling up here would kill Donnie's action, but in this case, Eugene's picked up the nut flush draw, so it's going to be that much harder for him to fold.
Stern. That's 31,000.
A lot of the time, top pair is going to be good here, and besides, he's got outs to the flush. But we know that Eugene's flush draw is no good, and he's drawing dead to an ace.
Eugene calls.
Donnie has to consider that Eugene may have ace-queen, but that would mean all 4 queens are in play.
The pot is now up over $111,000. The river, the 10 of clubs.
Doesn't improve Eugene's hand at all. Donnie's trying to think of the biggest value bet he can make. He has less than the size of the pot left in his stack, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a shove.
I'm all in.
There it is. Donnie all in.
Now Eugene's in a tough spot because he's invested a lot of money in this pot. It's only about 1/3 of the pot to call, and Eugene's stuck with only 1 pair. Eugene's getting less than 3-1 on his money. Donnie has to be bluffing more than 25% of the time to make this call profitable.
You know, if you have a prediction, you can go over there and talk quietly.
I want in on this.
Like these guys needed an excuse to go talk to Amanda.
I think ace queen versus ace king.
Huh?
I think Donnie has ace queen.
You
And
do?
I think Eugene has ace king. Ace king? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think the 10 affected anything?
Ace king? I think Eugene has ace king. I like your calling ace queen. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I like that. I don't know about Eugene. He might have ace jack suited. He might have ace jack. He
jack
has to call him with
suited.
ace king
He
every
might
time.
have ace jack.
I think he has to call him with ace king. Yeah. Just in case he's steaming. Yeah.
Eugene makes the right decision.
Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more awesome poker content. And check out this video. The YouTube algorithm seems confident you'll like it.